So a lot of the times, when people reach out to me, it's because somebody is probably going through the most, and a lot of the times it's connected to like sexual immorality. I've had people reach out to me just trying to figure out how they can break soul ties because they've come to realize that life is spiritual and these things are affecting them, right? Either to get into relationships, either in their marriages, and they just can't run away from that reality that they're still connected to somebody they slept with, right? I've had people reach out to me and tell me I cheated on my husband or my wife, and every time I cheat on them, our child gets sick, right? So they've seen the connection of their adultery, while others have seen the connection of the incest because someone is probably sleeping with a cousin, sleeping with a stepsister, a stepbrother, and yeah, it's just a lot of wild things going on inside there. And so I decided because a lot of the times I usually make videos on TikTok, but I'm not only talking about one specific topic, I'm always talking about other things that are also happening. And so I decided to do a series on my podcast, which is on Spotify, Truth Talk Podcast. I'm going to do a series on sex. I'll talk about everything sex because sex is not just a physical act, sex is a spiritual act as well. And the amount of way it affects us, you may want to pretend it doesn't, but there's a reason why you feel a weird energy anytime you see someone you've slept with. There's a reason why you see them or hear their name and something shifts inside you. There's a reason why you're willing to disobey God for you to be with that married man or for you to be in that fornication or, for whatever, because this person has become your God. They control your soul. Your mind is full of them. They control your emotions and eventually control your will. That you may want to do something that is right, but because of this entanglement you're in, because of this blood covenant you're in, because I'm always telling you guys that sex is a blood covenant. That's why God set up blood at the gate of a woman's. The moment somebody sleeps with a woman and that blood is broken, you need to understand that you're now in a spiritual contract. And for some of you think that it's just that first person who slept with that person that, nah, life is spiritual. That's not how it works. Anybody else coming after that is bound to this person as well, right? You become one in flesh and your souls as well. So you're still part of that covenant. So I've decided to do a whole series on this. It's going to be on my Spotify, and we'll talk about everything. Everything. We'll talk about all sorts of relationships, why we get hooked the way we get hooked, why I'm saying sex is spiritual, the blood covenant part of it. Some of you have sex when you're in your periods. You don't understand what you're doing. You really don't understand what you're doing. Others of you don't understand how crazy it is to sleep with a family member and the consequences. Because listen, God created sex. Some of you act like we can hide sex away from God, but God is the creator of sex. But this sex came in a manual. And we can't just have sex however, whenever, with whoever we want and think we're not going to reap the consequences. I'll tell you, for some of us, our lives are stagnant the way they are. We have near success syndrome. You're always close to getting something but never get it. And it as a result of your sexual partner. Some of you think you're battling depression, but the reason why you can't even trace why you're depressed is because it's not your battle. You picked up somebody else's battle. Others of you don't know how you ended up being prostitutes when once upon a time you valued your body so much. Who have you been sleeping with? Others of you don't realize when you became drug addicts, when you became thieves, when you started getting into witchcraft, because the people you're sleeping with are dabbling into some demonic stuff. And now when you have a problem, you think about how you can use witchcraft instead of going to God, who once upon a time you relied on. I believe that this is something serious that needs to be talked about, including the whole family planning situation. And you might not like what I'm saying, but I believe that I'm sharing this message by the spirit of truth because I'm telling you on my own, and bruh, like. And we're not only going to talk about these things, we're also going to talk about how to break these covenants, how to get out of these soul ties, how to walk in purity, right? And why it is important for that. And I believe that so many people are going to be set free. The truth is not meant to hurt people. The truth is meant to set people free. And I know that this is going to be a blessing to so many people. So plug in. I'm going to be posting an episode every Monday and Wednesday. And yeah, we'll talk about everything, even abortion, the consequences of that. We're going to talk about pornography, masturbation, the consequences of that. We're going to talk about having sex in dreams. We're going to talk about lust. We're going to talk about everything. And by the end of this, I know people are going to be set free. No, because marriages need to be saved. Don't waste your life out believing some nonsense, believing that you can have casual sex. I mean, what can be casual about emotional and spiritual bonding? What can be casual about sex when that's the way all of us came into this world? So don't let this society that we live in desensitize you. The way they're putting sex in everything, eh? And that is why, everyone, the polygamist, I don't know, beauty is the new black or beauty is the whatever. The reason why those things are what's intriguing you is because you've already been desensitized and corrupted. And that's why things that excite you are things that have sex. That's why the music that you like and go to talks about sex. It was an agenda. And by the grace of God, we won't watch believers being deceived, because the enemy's plan is to steal, kill, and destroy you. He's not your friend. He's not your homie. Okay? He doesn't care about you. If he comes into your life, whatever he's introducing in your life is meant to kill, steal, and destroy you. Life is spiritual, so stop playing with your life. Okay? Sex is deep. It is deep. I know some people say, it's not that deep. We're just having fun. It's just, it's deep. When God gave us sex and gave us the manual and told us we should have it in marriage, He knows what happens when you have it outside of marriage. So I don't know why we are arguing with somebody who has rights to this thing, So yeah, stay tuned. It's not when people walk down the aisle or when they sign documents that people become one. It's when people have sex that they bind themselves to the other person. In this physical realm, when people are having sex, they exchange fluids like saliva. And in saliva, we have DNA traces. Other times, even blood is involved during sex. And in the spiritual realm, an exchange of spirits. But these things mingle and an ungodly covenant is produced. And this is why after you sleep with someone, your thoughts and your emotions, whether good or bad, go to another level, because you're closer to them now and connect deeper. A condom can protect you from diseases or avoid a pregnancy, but that's as far as it goes. It can't protect you from all the spiritual things being formed and also how it interferes with your relationship with God. I've had people say, why do people just pick up the bad things